Loading. And we are live for another episode of Where Heartbreak Feels Good podcast, a dazzling podcast about stories that may or may not feel perfect and powerful. I'm your host, Edgar Ortega, and joining me today is, as always, Josh D. Woodbury,
Hello,
Disney adult.
everyone. The Disney
Oh
adult,
no.
the official Disney adult. Yes. We're back. We've had a bit of a break. It's been busy times.
Mhm.
But excited to talk about this kind of big month of releases. Like August was just dead
Surprisingly
for
good.
movies, but September was a
Surprisingly
lot of
good.
came out that I still haven't catched up on. So excited to talk about
Mhm.
it.
Also joining us from Hyperspace Hype is Evan Harris.
Yeah, glad to be back. We are back. It's funny because we took a break at Hyperspace Hype / My Cup of Tea as well in the early days of August. We took a break, and now I think podcasting is in full swing here. I'm busy. It's just chaos. But yeah, this September was fantastic. Actually, some surprisingly great stuff. I'm seeing another one tomorrow. Technically, that's October 1st, right? But still,
Yeah.
yeah, some great stuff. Seeing Bros tomorrow.
Nice.
But yeah, September has been a fantastic month in theaters and on TV. Fall TV is in full swing.
It's
And
insane.
it's
So
insane.
much.
My brother and I, Jalen, we're just like, do we need a calendar of all the things to watch next week?
Especially with you, because like you have all these reality shows and anime. Like,
Reality shows and
I
anime.
can't
I'm watching like
imagine.
10,000 shows a week. But next week, Mike Flanagan, the guy we just did the commentary
Yes, he's
about.
back.
We
He's
watched
back.
Oculus. He's back. We watched Oculus a couple weeks ago. Was it a month ago now? Oculus.
I think so. Yeah.
Was it this
you-
month? I don't remember.
I forget.
Time is weird right now.
What is time?
Yeah.
Somebody played Time from Inception. Anyways.
Midception.
Oh gosh. But yeah, Oculus was great. But then Mike Flanagan's next big thing, Midnight Club, starts literally next Friday. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Keep predicting that. That's
Just
crazy.
I was on Netflix and I was looking at like my Netflix what's next or what's coming up in September, just like week after week after or October, week after week. It's
Then
just,
like December, they have a big movie every week. It's crazy.
whew, yeah. Ta-dam! We're fucked. Yeah, not great.
Where
Where should we
Where
start?
do you guys want to start?
Like we don't do what first we did.
Yeah.
First thing we logged.
I started September kind of late. My first movie that I logged was on the 18.
Wow. Was there any
Yeah.
TV before that?
I mean, other than House of the Dragon and
Anyway,
Rings of
is there
Power,
any new shows besides Andor that came out this month?
I mean, Andor.
Andor.
Let me think.
I
Let me think. I don't.
So I think
so.
we save Andor like towards the end because that's a
Yeah.
lot to talk about.
I don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think
Let
so.
me
Yeah.
look at my TV list. Because I know August. Oh, Abbott Elementary started this month.
Is that? Do I need to watch that? I've heard good things.
You do. It's the best comedy on. It's definitely the best comedy on network television. But it's one of my favorite comedies. One of my favorite shows of the year. So TV wise, no Rings of Power, no House of Dragon. I'm pretty sure it was September. Cyberpunk Edge Runners. I can talk a little bit about that.
Did you watch that?
real quick? It is fantastic. It's an anime from Trigger Studios. Trigger, if you're not familiar with if you're not a big anime person, Trigger did the Twins episode of Star Wars Visions. If you watched that,
They did
very-
The Elder also, right?
The Elder. Yep. They can be restrained, like with the Elder, where it's very restrained and more of a calm journey between two Jedi and the Sith. But Trigger is mostly known for stuff like the Twins, where it's very bombastic, stylish, crazy animation, light on story at times. But Cyberpunk Edge Runner is one of my favorite shows of the entire year. It blew me away. Cyberpunk was a game that, notoriously got horrible reception.
I had fun with it.
Glitch of the ass. I never played it. I bought it, but I
Yeah.
never played it because I didn't want to get hit with glitches and it was busy.
Mhm.
But this show really made me want to replay the game, or at least play it for the first time. It's a very heartwarming story, but it's very, I don't say nihilistic, but if you know anything about the game, Cyberpunk, the world is very it's a capitalist society in the sense that if you're rich, you're on a great footing. If you're poor, you're kind of fucked. And it's from perspective of David Martinez, who was a very poor guy, just getting by. His mother's really paying him through school. But then, like, the world starts crumbling around him, and there's so much chaos. And there's a great relationship between him and people he comes across throughout the story. It's emotional. The action's incredible. The cast of characters is very good. The themes, it really hits. So Cyberpunk Edge Runners is a fantastic anime. One of my favorite shows of the entire year. I was weeping during the finale. It was fantastic. So it's another big hit for video games turned TV shows that are like anime influenced.
Netflix has been doing that a lot recently, right? With like Resident Evil and
Resident Evil,
right?
Of course, the best show of last year, Arcane, is definitely the latest
that.
example of that. It's a 5 out of 5 best show ever. So I love Arcane, and Cyberpunk is just continuing that trend. But I think besides Cyberpunk, Abbott Elementary, again, killing it. One of my favorite comedies. It's just really funny, joyous, heartwarming, hilarious. I love it.
Oh yeah, the Emmys happened, right? Was that this month?
Emmys was September 13th. Yeah.
I watched a bit of it.
Yeah, I'm not really
like as involved with like TV award season as we are with movies. But...
movies, yeah. The Emmys was great this year. I think it was a good mix at the beginning in terms of new actors, actresses, writers, directors, etc., getting new awards. But then towards the latter half, you can tell the TV Academy won with stuff they were already comfortable with. Zendaya won her second Emmy. Succession won again. Ted Lasso won again. Jason Sudeikis won again. There wasn't really any big new winners or returning. I mean, like Barry didn't. Barry was previously a two-time Emmy winner.
Barry got nothing, right?
Got nothing besides some text on that Saturday. But I was expecting Barry to get some. But as the hype started coming down for the Emmys, I realized it was mainly a battle between Ted Lasso and Abbott. I thought Abbott was going to come in like sweep. I'm happy Quintina Brunson. I forget the writer's name. She's the main actress too, but she got an Emmy for her writing. But then like directing went to Hacks, and best comedy went to Ted Lasso again, which I think was deserved. I was just surprised because Ted Lasso came out last July. And between then, we had great seasons of Abbott, a great season of Barry. So, okay. But, what else? Julia Garner won again for Ozark. I was super happy about that. I love Julia Garner.
Madonna.
Madonna.
That's sweet. She's doing a crush as Madonna.
Yeah, she's going to be great. What other? The Abbott Elementary supporting actress, one of the best speeches of the night. I was so happy for her. In general, Squid Game won. Lee Jung-jae won for Best Actor, which tons of chaos there because people were really hoping for Bob Odenkirk. And I was hoping for Bob Odenkirk too, but I can't blame the TV Academy because Lee Jung-jae was phenomenal in Squid Game. He was incredible. He had one of the best performances of last year. So I can't complain. It's just that as a huge Better Call Saul fan, I wanted Bob to come out there and win for the last season. Even though Better Call Saul can and is eligible to get nominated next year's Emmys because of season 5, part 2, I don't know if that's going to happen.
Because especially with House of Dragon and Andor and Power,
2022 to 2023.
Patty.
That's what was the last one?
Patty
might win.
Patty. We can talk about that. I guess we can talk about that now. I was driving. I'm like, how do they decide for House of the Dragon at next year's Emmys? I think right now House of Dragon for me is
everyone's supporting. Then I think they put Patty in lead. That's what I think.
Yeah. Oh, and do they nominate Emma and Millie?
Probably.
Allison?
Or I don't think they nominate them, but they'll be up for consideration.
Because for me, I feel like the TV Academy is going to go with Emma and Olivia over Millie and Emily.
Or they might switch it up, do like Millie and Olivia.
Oh.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Just like, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think, Patty for me has just been... And, of course, Matt Smith, best supporting actor, Matt Smith, easily. But I think House of Dragon, for me, is the best show of the fall, no competition in terms of live action. I think Andor is creeping up there real quick.
I think Andor might be the first like Disney Plus series to really be in consideration for like
And deserve it.
Yeah, and deserve it. Yeah,
I mean,
because like WandaVision and Mandalorian were nominated, but I think Andor.
If WandaVision, which I liked, and Mandalorian season 2 can get nominated, then there's no fucking way Andor cannot get nominated when it's highly regarded as the best series.
Those were just nominations. I think like Andor could be like one of the top contenders. But we'll see.
I agree.
Idea de Luna is probably nominated. Stellan Skarsgård, maybe supporting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Fight these bastards for real. Yeah, I really, Stellan, Mon. I can see a lot of supporting. There's just so much great. Like, yeah, it's hard. We can talk about it later when we get into Rings of Power, but I'm liking Rings of Power. It's not the most engaging series.
Talk about it now. Why not?
Okay, yeah, we can talk about it now. I think
I've only seen the first 2 episodes. I haven't caught up on the rest yet.
First 2. I'm all caught up besides last night's, technically 3 a.m., 12 p.m., whatever. It's a good show. I'm watching it and I'm engaged because my brother and I are huge fantasy people. So I like the world building. I'm notoriously just not a Lord of the Rings guy. The movies are fine for me, but I like the series. It's just that if somebody said, "Hey, Evan, what's your favorite character?" Yeah, I mean, wasn't it like visual effects too? That was weird.
I think you're not nominated for
That was weird.
But yeah, if somebody's like, "Hey, Evan, what's your favorite character from Rings of Power?" I'm like,
I mean, Galadriel, right?
Galadriel? That's the only name that I know off the bat. Isildur is a dick. I know he has relevance in the future, I think, because he cuts off Sauron's hand. Maybe is that him?
I would push for Arondir, the elf.
He's the elf.
He's the elf. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's great. I think that's about it, right? Yeah.
I mean, I like a bunch of characters. I also like the mother character, Browin or something like that she's called.
And the
yes, he's good too.
The one who I forgot their names, but the person who finds a stranger.
Oh,
the little kid.
Yeah, the kid. She's great.
She's fine. But I just feel like the story for me, I watched 5 episodes. It's really good, but that's coming from a fantasy guy. I don't feel like I can recommend this to like my mom or my dad. I think people are just bored of this series. The pacing's interesting. I think it's not awfully slow. It's deliberately slow, and it's building up, I guess, to this week's episode, which I hear is a big battle. But it's building up to like battle, like, as we get like the Battle of Helm's Deep. Like Lord of the Rings works because like Fellowship is a great movie. And then you get Two Towers. It builds and escalates, and it's good character building, stuff like that. But for me, this series just isn't grasping me the way I was expecting. I'm not really interested in the character dynamics as much as I wanted to be. It's a lore and a world building show for me. I think first, then character building. Like I feel like they need to focus more on the character dynamics more, and like the dialogue needs to be sharpened up more. It's very Middle Earth. It's very authentic to Lord of the Rings. I'm not a huge like book reader, so I know book readers are complaining that it's not authentic. But for me, as a non-book reader, I just feel like it's too, I don't know, it might be too leaning onto the fantasy and not into like the rich character stuff. What do you think?
I think the big thing I've only seen the first 2 episodes, but let me just like intro real quick. From like what I've watched, I like the characters, the story, like the pacing was all right from what I was saying, but the biggest thing is like it's a technical marvel. It is
big time
insane. Like the production design is incredible. Some of these shots are just like absolutely gorgeous. It's one of the most like pretty shows I've ever seen. Maybe
I agree.
Like,
I think
that huge budget is like it's paying off.
Yeah, certain sequences, especially the wide shots, like when they're entering a city or they're entering a huge landscape. The landscape shots are beautiful.
Numenor is fucking gorgeous.
Numenor is great. You can really the architecture there, the setting. It's beautiful. even the cities are nice and crowded. It feels very lived in. It just like Edgar said, it's beautiful. But yeah, I think it's a technical marvel, but just needs better like writing in terms of character dynamics. Like get me interested in the characters more so than like the scope of it all, the scale of it all.
Yeah, I think one of the, I guess, double-edged swords of this show is that there's so much going on at once, and you kind of want the stories to like meet each other, and eventually they are going to like. We know that something has to happen for everybody to like meet up eventually, and personally, I do think the show is slow, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing here because like I've seen what happened. I've seen the last night's episodes, and I'm not gonna go into spoiler territory, but the nature of the slow pace of the show, it kind of has to happen because you have to make the audience like live and breathe with these characters and how the world works right now because it's gonna change drastically. It's already changing pretty drastically already, and for it to feel like as powerful as it does, I feel like you kind of need that slow pace because it has to feel like earned in order for it to feel important for the characters, especially somebody like Galadriel. So again, I'm trying to like not spoil. I'm trying to like lean way, but yeah, like for me, the characters I thought they're pretty good. Some are better than others. I think the guy Isildur, like I guess have to write him as sort of a likable asshole. It works sometimes, it doesn't in others. I think his father is a far more interesting character than him.
Big time.
Yeah. And Galadriel, I mean, I've heard the complaints of her like coming off as a very one note, and although I do see that, I think that's the point of the character because it's a character that needs to like learn that she needs to change the way that she is viewing life right now.
I think Morphet Twart is doing such a great job too.
Yeah, I think she's doing a great job doing that, and I think that's
Galadriel.
Yeah, and I think that's the point of the character of the current like status of her character arc. So, for eventually when we do get the more classic Galadriel from the movies, it's gonna be like more impactful. I think.
That's great.
Yeah, I have been enjoying the show. I think I said it last night to our friends. I think last night's episode, if you haven't been spoiled, I think you're in a miracle because like it's I don't know how it's not gonna get spoiled.
I haven't seen anything from it yet.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple.
Like,
I've seen like.
I'm also not really paying attention because I just like
yeah.
Also, like I would say, like it's the kind of episode that's gonna make people tune in because they're gonna be like, oh, so
this is what I've been waiting for.
Happening. Is there like big connections to like the lore and stuff?
Yeah, the time, yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of my predictions from last week's episode are going to happen in this week in terms of like, no spoilers, but it was a very much a build up episode last week where it's like, hey, this is what's about to happen, or hey, this is what's about to happen. In a couple of days, this is going to happen. So I think what happened in last week's episode. So I can't wait to watch it, but I hope it's not the thing where it's like, oh, now that there's action, now I'm invested. But yeah, it's an interesting show for sure. I think as Edgar was talking, I think, I like a lot of the motivations. They're very well understood in terms of Arondir. The best character in the show, Durin. I love Durin. He's great. Durin the dwarf.
Oh, Durin. Yeah.
The dwarf king.
Well, the
Durin,
prince, I think.
The prince. Yes, the prince. His relationship with the elf, what's his name? Elrond is great. I love that dynamic. It's very funny, but it's also it's very tragic too because Elrond has to go back and forth, especially last week in terms of like his motivations and his ideals. And I like that. I think for these characters, I get their ideals, I get their motivations, but their dynamics with other people, some hit, some miss. And I think I just want more character building stuff from these characters. I know it's a totally different type of world and show from House of Dragon. House of Dragon, episode 1, I'm instantly invested in every single character. That's not really
obviously both shows are very different from one another because they're completely different tones. But I think it's there's something to be said, like if you want to compare them, because like I really do think that both seasons, the first both seasons, they're basically like pilots, like 10
Mhm.
episode long pilots. But House of the Dragon is more concerned with the character dynamics, while Lord of the Rings is more focused on the world building. And I
Yeah.
think like it's very fascinating to see it how both shows are navigating their like pilot nature to the first season, because they really do feel like that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Very true. Yeah, and yeah, like Lord of the Rings is so massive. Like when I was watching this, I was like, wait, there's things beyond Middle Earth. like, like there's just like whatever Earth where the elves are from, where the humans were from, and there's Middle Earth, and then there's different sections of Middle Earth. Like I thought the Game of Thrones map was confusing, and now this whole world for Lord of the Rings is hella confusing. I'm like, okay, I think we're here now. We're here now. But luckily, the show is like taking place on Middle Earth, so it's not too confusing. But yeah, it's just very fascinating how different fantasy shows are handling their writing and everything. And I appreciate Lord of the Rings, but I just know a lot of my friends who really dropped off on it, unfortunately, because of the pacing and everything like that. But anyways, yeah, Lord of the Rings is solid. I can't wait to see what happens with next year's Emmys. Last of Us too. Last of Us is going to be big. I can't wait for that.
Oh, let's talk about that a little bit. That
yeah,
trailer.
let's do
deserves to be
that.
talked about. That trailer is so good.
It's so great.
One of the best watches of this month.
Easily. When it first
Have you seen
started,
the trailer, Evan?
oh yeah, I've seen the trailer like 20,000 times.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
Yeah, a million times. I was at school and I was on a lunch break when it started. So I was like, thank God I can just like dive into this thing. So when it first started, as I'm playing The Last of Us Part 1 remake too, the music, of course, instantly, that's like it's the song when they're in Pittsburgh and it's like, hold on, Ellie. They ain't hurt. He ain't hurt. It's great. So
the whole look of the show is perfect, and like they're just nailing it, man. They're nailing it.
They're nailing the look. Like you said, Josh, it looks like the game, but it also looks just like a stunning live action show in general.
The cinematography is insane.
Cinematography is beautiful. These wide shots are gorgeous. Certainly, some of the actors are just killing it. Ellie, Joel, Pedro, Bella are incredible. Just certain shots. I just feel the tension in this trailer. I feel the sense of like hopelessness. I feel the sense of terror. It's great. I think this
Joel in a hole.
Oh. Yeah, and there's so many shots. Like I forgot Melanie Lewinsky,
from Yellow Jackets.
From Yellow Jackets is in this. I'm like, with the totally original character. That's what interests me the most. Like, what new routes are they going to take? What original characters are going to be?
We know Ashley and Troy are playing like actual substantial characters, and the rumor is that Ashley's playing Ellie's mom, so that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see. Like, where do they put in these Ellie flashbacks? Where in the game you can just play a DLC, but in a TV show you got to
confirmation that they're doing Left Behind stuff, because we saw that shot of Ellie and Riley on the carousel.
Storm Reed is Riley. Storm Reed has been killing it and everything recently.
And I was reading like Wikipedia just over it, and I guess Storm Reed said that that's going to be episode 8.
Oh, okay.
So the interesting thing is that like that makes a lot of sense. Have episode 7 end with the cliffhanger of Joel falling, maybe.
Yeah, then episode 8 being
cut to Left Behind with flashbacks and Ellie on her own.
Well, she's
is this a 10 episode season?
Yeah,
I'm thinking so. Yeah, 10 episodes.
Because David, I don't know where they would place David stuff. Maybe is that too big to just be like one episode? I don't know.
David. You could. It's funny because I just did that chapter and it took me like an hour and a half.
I know.
It's very short. But
is that like it's big story moments that like
big story moments though.
They fit in an hour.
It's hard because like like how much do they do the final level? How much?
Because the hospital is like a lot too. That
it has to be.
Unless the episodes are like 90 minutes, which it's HBO, so it's possible.
Yeah, I can see it being like hour and 10, 55 minutes, something like that. Oh man, yeah, the pacing is going to be so. I'm so curious. Yeah.
Where do you guys think?
What
was that, Edgar?
No, I was just gonna say, where do you guys think the show is gonna begin with? Because like obviously they have to like come up with like new stuff in order to like. No, I know, but like, is that can we see like basically like the day one, right? It like that's the prologue, or is that like
I
the
think
ending of episode 1?
great
I
question.
think that's what they start.
I think that's all of episode 1, but I think before we get to like the first scene of the game where it's like Sarah on the couch watching TV.
Yeah.
I think even before that, we'll get a lot of Sarah flashbacks. I think they talked about this in the
maybe
leader.
just do like a full episode on the prologue.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking, because like you kind of have to make you care for this little girl if you're gonna like,
similar,
you know,
similar to A Quiet Place Part 2, where it's just them
Yes.
watching a baseball game.
Mhm.
I
That'll
think
be,
we'll have Sarah and Joel at a concert, Sarah and Joel just chilling, and then the next day is when we get to the all in one episode, mind you.
That's a great comparison, because I've always
Yeah.
thought like A Quiet Place was the closest thing we get to Last of Us series. Like if this didn't happen, like I don't know.
I think half of episode 1 is going to be all original stuff with Sarah and Joel just bonding.
That makes sense.
And then it hits like day 1 for the other half of the episode. I still think they want to stuff that in one episode.
It's not its Gen 2.
And then it'll end with the end of the prologue. Have that all be one episode. So you're like, oh my god, it was like all this happened in one episode.
That's a great fucking hook too.
It's a great hook. You're like, geez, anybody can go in this series. So yeah. So it'll be great, man. I'm super stoked. And HBO guys, like White Lotus season 2 is
next month. Like that's huge.
Month.
That turnaround on that series is insane. Yeah.
Where's the trailer at for that, by the way?
Day.
Where's the fucking trailer for White Lotus season 2?
It just felt like a month ago when they first announced it. It's crazy,
right? Oh my gosh, we're getting Haley Lou Richardson, Aubrey Plaza.
Oh man,
I think Theo James is in this. Yeah. There's a lot of great actors in this. I'm stoked.
Jennifer Coolidge is back.
And then HBO has next year Succession, Barry.
Succession, yeah.
Last of Us, House of the Dragon. It's like.
Is that season 2 coming next year? Is that
no, but just like
probably not. Probably 2024, because there's a rumor that they're gonna start filming in March of next year.
March, that works. Sense. Yeah, the step for that season is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Last of Us, I think is coming probably February. I would say it's probably a good time for it.
February, March. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, there's so many crazy stuff happening. HBO just continues to be ruler of TV. Yeah, I can't wait.
But yeah, unless there's more to add, I want to move over to some movies.
Let's do that. Let's get into the movie.
My first watch was another oldie, Sunset Boulevard from Billy Wilder.
Oh, how was that?
Have you heard this movie?
No, I haven't.
No.
It's like the iconic shot of like I'm ready for my close up of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I think it's
great.
Yeah. I think Patrick Williams might have done video on this one.
Yeah, it's one of the great like Hollywood noirs. It's
1950.
It's fantastic, and Laura Swanson as Norma Desmond is a fantastic performance.
Was this Criterion again?
No, surprisingly, they haven't made one with this movie. I just bought it. I think it's on HBO too.
Bought it HBO. Oh wait, it seems to be on Amazon Prime as well. Sweet. But yeah, I'm definitely watching these classic films, Josh.
Yeah, I'm definitely very glad I'm watching these, and I definitely recommend this movie. It's fantastic.
Sunset Boulevard, 100%.
Then followed it up with a new horror movie from this year. It premiered at Sundance a few years ago and finally came out. We're All Going to the World's Fair. Have you heard of this movie?
What? No.
It's like a low budget horror movie. Yeah, it came on HBO Max recently. It's Jane Schonenbrun's directorial debut. She's doing like a bigger movie, her next movie at A24. But it's really haunting, and it scared the shit out of me. But
Josh, this sounds so cool.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's really unsettling.
Reality and fantasy begin to blur when an isolated teenager immerses herself in online RPG horror game. What?
It's like how I'd recommend it is 8th grade, but for like even weirder people.
Eighth
Because
grade
it
for
hates
horror?
that. It hates that like for like fucked up people, which is it hates that like isolation that the internet gives us that eighth grade did so well, but like turns it into a horror movie.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
What I love about this podcast, I always come on here and Josh says a movie I've never heard of, but then I add to my list because it sounds really good.
You would love this. Maybe. I don't know. It's very slow and methodical.
Slow with
But
you have me a video game.
it's not very much. It's like a more of a like RPG, like it's not a natural video game. I don't know. I don't know what's playing. I don't want to spoil it, but it's good.
I'll check it out. What do you have it on Letterboxd?
4 stars.
4 stars. Nice.
I think it's like middle of my list.
Yeah,
that's good.
And you said Anna Cobb was really good.
Yeah, she's the lead. She's fantastic.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for the rec.
Then I did some rewatches. Rewatched Frozen 2, an absolute masterpiece.
You love yourself some Frozen 2.
Love Frozen 2.
And I can't complain. I mean, I liked it when I saw it. I haven't revisited it though.
You should rewatch it.
I should.
It holds up really well.
Carson.
Yeah, and for like I don't even love Frozen 1 that much. Like this one is way more mature in its themes, and the songs are better, and it's good. They're good shit.
Yeah, Carson from My Face Hype, he really wants me to watch the Frozen 2 documentary.
The documentary series is like legit,
like
incredible.
I hear so much praise about that.
It's surprising how much they go into like the failures and like the low moments in production.
Yeah.
Then rewatched First Man and La La Land because that Babylon trailer got me hyped.
Babylon, another great trailer of 2022.
Chazelle goodness.
First Man, really, really good. Really strong movie. Upset that didn't get nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Did Ryan even get nominated for Best Actor? He wasn't.
Only got like tech categories.
Only got tech, which was crazy.
And somehow got like snubbed for score, which is crazy.
Claire Foy dropped out too for Best Supporting, which I thought was going to happen. But yeah, Damien's back for Blood in Babylon. Yeah.
First Man is like legit one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. Like, the score is insane.
Corey Stoll was great in that movie, by the way. He's great.
But yeah, Chazelle, don't miss.
Mm-mm.
Then Edgar, this next one I watched, I think you've seen also, Vengeance.
Vengeance? You ever seen Vengeance?
Yeah. BJ Novat's debut.
How was that? I've heard mixed things.
Oh, Vengeance.
Preston, yeah. Friend of the show, Preston, got me to watch this. He's been like talking a lot about it as a Texan native.
That's your plug.
It's good commentary. It's very entertaining, but I wasn't in love with the ending until that scene with Ashton Kutcher, because Ashton Kutcher in this movie is insane. One of the best performances.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I think this movie does a really good job to present journalism as entertaining. Especially because it has like that podcast angle, so that makes it like it gives like this extra like pump. But yeah, like for a feature debut, I think this movie like oozes so much like confidence in its style.
Yeah. And you wouldn't tell it's his debut.
Yeah, and he himself is pretty good in the movie too, especially like those scenes like towards the end, and then the one outside of a Whataburger. Yeah, I think this movie is really good. I think a lot of people are gonna miss it. I think they already missed it in movie theaters. So
it's on Peacock.
It's on Peacock. I just looked that up.
Peacock,
yeah.
Holy shit!
Hey, Peacock is like going up for me because they put like all their new releases like 45 days after. Like all those.
Are they the next HBO Max?
I mean, they have the Ryan Johnson series. They have the Community movie that just announced. I'm excited for.
Started that, yeah. Never watched Community.
You haven't?
Never seen it.
Great show.
I watched like 2 seasons or something like that, and I got tired of it.
Oh my god!
It was during the time when I was just watching Parks and Rec, and I'm just
I watched it all during COVID or during lockdown. So
oh wow,
it was a great watch for that.
Nice.
I don't know if you talked about this one yet, either last month or this, but Orphan First Kill.
Yeah,
we
I
talked
talked about
about
it
that on our
one,
last
but
one.
yeah.
It's great.
He said it was great. They're both
Did
on
you watch it?
Hurst, right?
Yeah, I finally got the chance to watch it. What a fucking bonkers movie! I think it's better than the
Somehow
first one.
just as better. I wouldn't
I think it's
go
better.
that far, but like the fact that they did a twist that's even like as crazy as the first is like
Now you get me very
really
excited to
good.
watch it.
Yeah.
I think it's better because I think this movie is more confident in what it is. Like knows exactly
Knows
what
what
the
it is
movie it is, and
more.
it goes for it.
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
the
I
last one
can
kind of
see
like
that.
dances around the idea until the very ending, and this movie just embraces it from the beginning. But
And
yeah, this
like
movie is incredible.
I said this last
correct.
month, but like isn't the way they like de-age her like fantastic? Right? It's all physical or all practical.
It's really fun to watch because you
Yeah.
kind of want to like spot on like the who's who, like who's the younger actress, who's the actual actress Isabella Furman.
Yeah. But they blend together so well.
Yeah, and that twist is so fucking fun. It's
so
and it's
good.
also it makes it extra fun because it's not a twist that happens all the way till the third act. It's like very early, like in
Yeah.
towards the end of the first act,
Yeah,
beginning
beginning
of
of
the
the second
second.
act is when it twists.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's really fun. I don't know. It's kind of like how can I describe it? It almost has like this like twisted, twisted like experimental or like sitcom vibe to it once the twist
Yeah.
happens.
Now you get
But
me
yeah,
excited to
Melodramatic.
watch this movie because I'm always like, I've heard the Orphan, the first one was really good, but I was spoiled by it, and I felt like, why do I need to watch it now? But you guys convinced me about watching both.
I was spoiled too for the first one, and it still holds up. It's
Okay.
still
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
this movie
Speaking
kind of
of,
makes me wishes that the second and the first movie doesn't have the ending that it has, so they could continue making more.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
But speaking of twisted, demented movies, I did a great double feature of Pearl and Barbarian. If you want to talk about
Yes.
those,
Let's talk about this because I wish I saw Pearl on Tuesday. I saw See How They Run, which I thought was fine, but I really want to see Pearl after watching
Pearl's
X.
fantastic, man.
I think I might go next Tuesday.
I was lower on Etz than I think you guys are, but I thought it was good. It was fine. But
Yeah, I didn't think
Pearl
X was great. Yeah.
Pearl is fantastic. Like I
Oh, wow.
prefer this kind of movie more, like this vibe, like very like demented Wizard of Oz, like fairy tale type vibe. And Mia Goth, man, like one of the best
Never heard of her.
performances of the year.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I think I really like X because it goes for like that retro 70s like slasher vibes, and I really enjoy it for that. And I see myself rewatching X more than I would with Pearl, but
That's fair.
even then, like Pearl, like I think going into the movie, I think a lot of people expected just like your typical origin psycho movie or whatever, and it like it leaves the slasher vibes to the side in favor of like a character study, and it's so damn good. And the visuals, like it's so vibrant. It's so like,
I was so sad because the projector on my screen was like so dark. It kind of like did a disservice to like how vibrant the movie was.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mia Goth is like up there with Florence Pugh and Midsommar and Toni Collette and
those horror performances that should win but won't even get nominated.
Wow, that's high praise. I gotta see this movie.
Yeah, she's up there with like Lupita and Tony for sure.
Jeez, all in the same year with X and Pearl. That's crazy. Yeah, for me, I thought X was really good. I think I liked the beginning of X and the end of X more than the middle of X. I think X kind of slows down a little bit in the middle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But then like once like the third act hits, you're like, oh wow, this is some grade A horror shit that I love. But yeah, now I'm even more excited to watch Pearl. I think X was really good. I think I gave it like a 3.5 out of 4. But yeah, I'm very excited for
Pearl's like a 4.5 for me.
Wow.
It's good.
Wow,
shit.
That's good. Yeah. Good praise. But let's talk about
the wildest movie of the year.
Barbarian.
This year's Malignant.
This year's Malignant, yeah. This year's Orphan.
Movies are made, guys. This is why we go to the theater. Play the Nicole Kidman ad. Because this is why I go to the theater. Barbarian is one of my favorite movies of the year. blew me away. I mean, I heard so much hype about this movie. I'm like, you know what? Let me catch it on a Tuesday. I'll go watch the movie for $5. It's cheap. Oh my god, this was fucking incredible. Just like
It has like
it has it all. It has it all.
it balances tone so fucking well.
Yeah.
Like unlike anything I've seen in a long time.
Oh, the tonal shifts are handled masterfully.
There's like that first shift. You know what I'm talking about, right? The first. That's like genius level shit, like akin to like Black Bear levels of genius.
Yeah,
I really love Black Bear from 2020, and like that has a genius shift too.
I would even say that it has a shift earlier than that because the movie kind of shifts to like a rom-com vibe for like the first like 10-20 minutes.
Like shift genres so much and does it flawlessly.
Yeah, it's like an eerie rom-com where I don't want to get into spoil.
I don't even want to spoil. Yeah, I don't want to spoil.
I don't want to spoil it because everybody watching this.
Someone
Barbarian
happens to watch this.
Yeah, watch Barbarian. But yeah, so it's like
Noah, if you're watching, watch it.
There's some good Star Wars Easter eggs in this. Yeah, it has that eerie rom-com feel to it. You're like, what is happening? I don't really know. I'm still squirming in my seat. But then there's just so many other tonal shifts and just like the story shifts, like so many different surprises and surprises that are earned that feel natural but weird at the same time. That they all just work magically. There's nothing that I felt like was like, why is this happening? Like I kind of felt like that, but it kind of worked. Like I was asking like these weird questions, but they were good questions and they were like very much fulfilled by the ending.
Like,
like
every shift it like fulfills those questions.
Yes. Yeah. Everything started clicking by the end. It was just great.
I do want to
loved it.
Yeah. Once it comes to where you are, fucking Norway.
Yeah. Also,
but I do want to talk about one shift.
Oh yeah.
I'll just say the word 60s. Like when it goes there. Fucking incredible. The one shot like in the car.
Oh my god. Yeah, the direction. I don't know who directed this.
The cinematography. Let me know his name. He did like a lot of comedy stuff.
What a surprise. These comedians. Right? They can't keep getting away with this. Say it again.
Zach Cregger's.
Okay, yeah. He was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Great direction.
But, like cinematography all around is fantastic.
Yeah.
The camera work is like best since Malignant. It's insane.
Yeah, I have to say this is one of the few horror movies where I will give the characters a pass for making dumb decisions because the payoffs are so damn good.
Exactly, 100%.
It's funny you say that because like my theater was like, "What are you doing?"
My theater was great during that.
What are you doing? But because it's a mix of like being very modern, like modern horror. They know they're in a horror movie. A lot of the modern horror movies we watch are just like, nope. I think if somebody says
nope, literally nope.
Nope. Yeah, even like literally nope. It's like, nope, I know not to go in a creepy dark hallway. But yeah, they somehow made sense. And while I didn't like that they were doing it, I'm like, fuck it.
You gotta respect it because it goes to so many wild places.
Yeah. And like it needed to happen for the story to work. And I didn't really care.
And Justin Long, like when he comes in, it's just like
great.
He's such a douchebag.
He's incredible.
Great. He's such an interesting side character because he's
the
not
tape measure
hero.
It's great. It's great. Yeah, this movie is it's peak comedy, it's peak horror, it's peak terror. It's just like you're scared of the unknown. And that's what I love about a lot of horror movies. And the unknown factor in this movie is phenomenal.
Georgina Campbell, fantastic too.
Yeah. I think one of the first out loud oh shit moments was so the movie begins at night, so you don't really see the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And then the next day happens, and then she starts looking around, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. It's great in the dialogue too, because the dialogue pieces you into certain things. In events, it's just this movie. I think it's number 8 for me this year.
It's number 8. It's in my top 10 for sure.
I don't want it to leave the top 10, even though there's so many great movies coming out this year, this fall. But I'm just like, damn, even if it's not in my top 10 by the end of the year, I'm going to be talking about this movie in terms of what you have to watch in 2022 because it blew me away. I'm so happy that this movie was made. It's great. Yeah, again, like stuff like Malignant, Nope, Barbarian. Like I love these kinds of horror movies. Like this is
That's why you need to
incredible.
watch Orphan. It's like along those lines. The same
Okay,
lines
wow,
as
yeah.
those, yeah.
Even if it's even comparable, I have to watch Orphan. I mean,
Yeah, Orphan watched the Malignant to run. That's what I say.
That's amazing. I mean, I have to make use of my Paramount Plus app now. Big Brother's over. No more live feeds.
They're both on there.
Yeah, they're both on Paramount Plus. So now I'm just like, let me go back on the site one more time. So yeah, I loved Barbarian.
Yeah,
great movie.
The next thing I watched, you mentioned it earlier. See How They Run.
See, let's talk about that.
Great little murder mystery.
I thought it was solid for me. I didn't think it was great. I was a little bit let down by the underwhelming cast of characters and the underwhelming.
I just think it was a bit too tame.
It's like
in my review, I say it's like it plays like a tamer Wes Anderson movie with bits of Hot Fuzz scattered in.
Yes, that's a perfect comparison. Where it's like it's too tame, and I wanted to go that extra.
It
mile.
like tries so hard to be Wes Anderson.
It tries really hard to be Wes Anderson. I don't even watch a lot of Wes Anderson movies, but it had that vibe to it. That old school.
I love Wes Anderson, so I still want to mess with it.
That old school, great dialogue. The dialogue was great. But
I do love that third act. Like the way it comes together in the third act is really good.
See,
especially the last shot too. Like the last
shot's great. Part of the third act worked for me, but what I didn't like was how they discovered who the killer was. Because I'm watching this movie, and the best part about the whodunit is like, how do you know who done it, kind of. And no spoilers, but these characters diverge and they discover who it is in different scenes, and I'm like, wait, how did you?
That was too a bit rushed. Yeah,
it was incredibly, because like I sat there after the movie ended. It bugged me after it happened because they're like, now we know who did it, and I'm like, wait, I don't. It's like, like it kind of left like the audience for a second.
Definitely like the editing. Yeah, there's just some weird editing choices.
Because I'm like, I wanted the reviewer to be like, okay, I'm trying to piece together who did it, what's happening. I'm trying to get invested, but then they discover it. I'm like, wait, did I miss a scene? Like, how did they figure out who it was? Did I miss something? But then they figured it out. I'm like, okay, it makes sense who the killer is, but
the way they like bring it together and call back to like earlier moments is fucking brilliant.
That's the best part about whodunit. They're like, where they flash it back, they're like, oh, okay, yeah.
So good.
It's like it's the best part about Knives Out, where it's just like, oh, now it all comes
and
together
like
now.
How the Adrian Brody character like describes how he wants his movie and how that actually happens. Like
fantastic,
perfect.
Yeah. Adrian Brody also, I didn't know he was in this movie.
He was great.
He was great. Yeah.
Saoirse Ronan, fantastic as always.
She never does wrong. She's amazing. Yeah. Her dynamic with what's his name?
Sam Rockwell.
Sam Rockwell is great. I love Sam Rockwell, and their dynamic together was really funny, really good, really heartwarming. But yeah, I thought it was solid. It didn't really blow me away.
Solid 4 stars.
Solid 90-minute whodunit. Yeah, really solid movie.
Definitely not the best whodunit we did this year.
Oh, not at all, boy. Not at all. Yeah, cannot wait for Glass Onion. I wish Netflix would give us a damn theatrical release date already.
It's playing the festival I'm going to, but for like $150. It's so stupid.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
It's like a closing night movie. It's so dumb.
If Netflix would be idiots not to release this before Thanksgiving. Give it that Thanksgiving to Christmas run, please. But yeah, what else do you have, Jay Josh?
Unless you guys want to chime in with something.
Let me see here. Let me go on my list.
So I rewatched Midnight Mass for the spooky vibes.
Oh, how was that?
It was the first time I watched it, like after a year. Still just as good.
My brother watched that for the first time a couple months ago. He was like, "Oh wow, yeah." I was like,
"Yeah."
It's
like it's not my favorite when it didn't work, but it's probably his best.
Okay, let's see here. Okay, The Woman King came out this month.
King? I haven't seen it yet, but
I've seen it.
I'm excited to watch it.
Woman King's great. Gave it 4 stars on Letterboxd. I think it's a great epic blockbuster with a number of powerhouse performances. Viola Davis, of course, just kills that as always. Lashana Lynch is a scene stealer in every single scene she is.
I heard Tuso and Buddha is fantastic too.
How you say her name? Tuso?
Duso and
Voodoo
Bedu.
or something like
Dusu and Voodoo,
Voodoo.
yeah.
But she was the main or the lead in Underground Railroad, and she's fantastic.
Oh, I knew she looked familiar. I remember seeing those
Yeah.
trailers for Underground. But yeah, she's great as well. Yeah, her, Lashana Lynch, and Viola are basically the powerhouses of the film. I thought it was very well done. I think the action sequences are very well staged. But even aside from the action, they had some great character moments between Viola and the lead actress, Duso. I think their scenes were great. There were some really good quiet moments I thought were very well earned and just beautiful to watch. I really became invested in her journey. It was a little bit like rushed in the beginning to get her to be with the Woman King tribe, whatever. But I think it worked overall as a good story, a very important story. All the controversy, I think, is you can have your own opinions aside, but I think it was very well explained in the movie, in the context of the movie, what they were dealing with in terms of slavery and the slave trade. Oh boy, I know. I'll be back in 3 hours, guys.
Go watch on Nathan Rojas's channel later.
Yeah, what is it? 5:30. Yeah, I'll be back in.
We have shared custody of Evan.
4 hours. I gotta take a nap and eat dinner in between this. But yeah, I think Woman King for me, yeah, the character work is great. The action scenes are great. It didn't like completely blow me away in terms of like action historical epics, but I think it's definitely one of the best in recent memory. I think I put it on par with the Last Duel.
Doing really well in box office too, which is kind of surprising.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it's going to probably end out like at $90 to $100 million domestically. Yeah, I'm so glad people are watching it, and yeah, it's like one of the only movies this year with an A+ on cinema, whatever it's called. A+.
Yeah.
Do we think it gets in for award stuff?
Good question, Josh. As you know, me and Josh are always going to be doing our award prediction stuff.
Yeah,
it's on the bubble. I saw
definitely costumes.
Oh, easily costumes.
Yeah,
definitely.
Because someone that me and Evan watched, the Oscar expert, they put out their prediction recently, and they had it in.
But they had it in there.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right on the bubble.
There's not really much competition besides Black Panther, which I hate to say.
Black Panther and Avatar are like the ones that like.
But it's like
could happen.
Africa. They put both in there.
I hate to say it, but like it is the.
They're gonna pick. Yeah. They're gonna pick one over the other.
They're gonna pick one over the other. They're not gonna pick like we did our justice. We like Africa. We all love Africa. We came from Africa. Fuck it. Put Wakanda in there. We did it last time. We'll do it again.
And the Blue People movie.
Yeah. Yeah. And the Blue People. Even though I hear the costumes in Glass Onion are great, but
Glass Onion is like we'll get into it on our next episode, but like it's the interesting award season.
Yeah, you know how like the Oscars and contemporary costumes are. They're very iffy on that, unfortunately. So they're gonna go for your Black Panthers, your Avatars, your Woman Kings, your historical stuff. Babylon, exactly. Historical stuff, even if it was just 50 years ago, like Babylon.
That's considered historical. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, before 2000, historical. You're good. Yeah. You're not wearing jeans, historical. So yeah.
Even though Everything Everywhere should be in the
Everything Everywhere also should be in costumes. Exactly.
Just for like Stephanie Shu's costumes alone.
Yes. Yeah. But they're probably not.
Even the Northman.
Yeah. Northman is not a goose egg. Nobody
saw
remember that. Yeah.
Nobody saw it. But it's still in my top 10. I remember the fuck out of Northman.
Me too, yeah.
I love that movie. He fought naked on a volcano. God damn, the movie's amazing. This year, man, incredible. But yeah, I really like Woman King. I really recommend people seeing it this weekend if they haven't already.
I'm gonna try and see it next week.
Yeah,
because there's also like there's just so much I'm behind on. There's like Who Needs Daydream. I want to see Smile, bro.
Smile.
Like,
you couldn't pay me $1,000 to see some people smile. I'm good.
I've heard it's good though.
If I had to see that trailer one more,
that trailer fucking sucks. Though.
It's awful.
Sean out here saying the marketing's fantastic. Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, I was blown away. People kept staying
I
out
know,
of the theater like
did
it
not
was
see that
great.
coming.
Perry Nemiroff saying it's great. Matt Neglia on Next Best Picture says it's great. I'm like, what is happening?
Nathan out here giving it 2.5 stars, but like having mostly
Oh yeah, I
positive.
forgot. Nathan told me the plot of the movie. I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, I'm so uninterested in Smile, even regardless of what Nathan told me. I'm just like, just in terms of the marketing, I'll probably catch it on streaming eventually. It's not one of those things I have to see in the theater, like a Barbarian or a Pearl. But September, how can we talk about September without talking about Don't Worry, Darling?
I want to let me start because I did
Please
a
start.
double feature.
You haven't
I did
seen
a
it
double.
yet.
You haven't seen it yet?
Edgar sees everything.
I did
I've been busy, bitch.
Yeah, I did that. But I did a
Going to Disney.
triple feature for the first time. I did I've
Mm.
been like they're Regal this week showed Harry Potter movies for like $5. So I was like, they showed Azkaban. I was like, I want to
You
see
have
that
to.
in
You
theaters.
have to.
Yeah, so I
We'll talk about
watched
that
Chambers.
because I love Azkaban.
I watched Chamber of Secrets just to catch up because
It is great, right, Josh?
It's great shit. Then Azkaban in theaters, great movie, but weird theatrical experience for me.
Really?
I was
Talk about that real
there was
quick.
like 4 people in the theater,
Mhm.
and during the entire second act, this man started snoring and talking in his sleep.
What?
Yeah,
No way.
it was weird.
What?
Then he like woke up for the ending. I was like, okay,
That's a first. Holy shit. Do you
it
say
was weird.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't have known what to do. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it was like a few rows above me, but
Wow.
I don't know. He's even during loud moments, he would just keep on snoring.
I'd be like, shh, just like tell you. Oh man.
That was me
Yeah.
during Frozen 2.
Fuck you!
Oh wow.
Get out of here!
Hello. Hello.
Get that bitch away.
That's great.
But yeah, triple feature. I did that. Then I did Avatar re-release in IMAX 3D. Let me tell you.
Incoming my obligatory snooze joke.
Let me tell you. This movie slaps.
I'm sure it does.
I am now. I've seen the way of the water.
Join me, my child.
Oh my god.
It's magic, man. Like the story is whatever, but the visuals are incredible and just
Josh, don't start like that. Don't do us like that.
stories. It's fine. It's like I did it. It's basic, but it works because everything else about this movie is so good.
I literally have not watched the entire movie from beginning to end since
Watch it.
Since
You'll
2009.
see, it's still in IMAX right now.
I'm
It's
good.
fine for
I have
next week.
no incentive to watch Avatar.
I will say 3D still sucks.
I might. Yeah, I've never seen anything in 3D.
3D it's cool for added depth, but it's not worth it for muted colors.
The last
especially for
3D
this
movie I watched was BFG because they tricked me with
The last one that I saw in
advanced screening.
3D was Into the Spider-Verse.
Mine was Road One, I think.
I bet Into the Spider-Verse actually does work. Did it work? Into the
I
Spider-Verse?
don't know. It was painful for the glasses. It was the shitty glasses back then.
Oof.
You really think Evan's gonna do an Avatar commentary, Nathan?
We have Evan coming. I already watched Oculus with this crew. Avatar for me, just like even when I saw it in 2009, I was falling asleep in the theater. It's just so, for me at least, soulless, uninteresting, boring.
No, it is anything but soulless.
I can't remember anything from that movie.
I couldn't either. Then I rewatched it.
Granted, I think I have to. Before I see Way of the Water, I'm going to
rewatch
watch it on
in theater.
Blu-ray.
In a theater.
I'm good. I watch it on Blu-ray at home with my small ass TV, and I'll be happy, Bob. I'll be happy.
Yeah. Were you open to it?
Open to? Did I say, Nathan? Did I say I was open to Avatar commentary? Avatar commentary? I don't think I did.
Where's the document?
Documented.
Because I don't believe
Find
it.
the tapes. Find the receipts. I don't know if I said that. Maybe I was drunk, high, something. All the above. A and B.
I will say this about Avatar because I had to write a piece for Loud and Clear Reviews about it, and I rewatched it before even was re-released in movies, and
Really? So you've seen it twice this month?
Yeah, basically. And I don't know, just while watching it, it just like struck me that like like man, like for the past decade, we've been watching movies reusing the same fucking cliches and technology. Yet this is the one that we're like just gonna shit on. Like, are you really gonna
Yes.
tell me? Are you really gonna tell me seeing Thor fucking fighting an army by himself is more interesting than seeing these blue ass bitches?
Are you talking about Infinity War?
Any movie, pick
I'd
your
watch
poison.
Infinity War over Avatar
Oh,
any
no.
day
No,
of
Evan.
the week.
No.
Hell to the yes.
It's
Oh
like
my
the themes are
God.
so much there. Like, it's good.
Oh, anti-colonialism.
Yeah.
Oh. Nope. I'm good.
Okay.
Let me watch a blue movie to teach me about anti-colonialism. I'm good. I'm black. I know a thing or two about that. I'm good. I don't need to. I don't know. I'm sorry, James.
Don't doubt the man.
I think Way of the Water is even a hit harder because he doesn't have to establish this.
I think
world
for
much,
me-
so he's a focus on the
Yeah.
story more.
I keep shitting on Avatar, but I think Way of the Water. I think the bar is so low for me. I think I'm automatically going to
Get
like
outta
Way of
here.
the Water more because like no more introducing these weird people whose names I have no idea.
Navi.
But they're individual names at least.
Yeah, that's fair.
What's Sam's character's name? Do
Jake.
we know? Do we care?
Jake
Sully.
From Sam to Jake. Great. Yeah, I'm good, Bob. But what were we saying? Oh yeah, Don't Worry, Darling. You were gonna say something about Don't Worry,
Yeah,
Darling?
that was my last film in this triple feature, and
Okay. But I
This
think me
movie's
and
a
you are on the
lot.
same page. I think a lot of people. I think me, you, Preston. I'm like, this movie's not.
it's
bad.
a fucking mess, but it's not terrible.
It's not bad. I don't. The mess didn't creep up for me until late in the movie.
I just think like here's what I have to say. It's interesting.
Okay.
Here's
Nathan.
the good. Olivia Wilde, like controversy aside, the direction's really solid. I think
the direction was very
Yeah.
solid. I think
And
I liked the direction. Yeah.
Florence Pugh is fantastic as always.
As always, correct.
Harry Styles, not as bad as people say, but not
Josh,
great.
What? I've seen. How many movies have we all seen this year? We've seen tons of movies this year. I've seen performances way worse than Harry
Yeah,
Styles.
100%.
It's like,
yeah.
come on, guys. Harry Styles is doing
He's not that bad.
fine. I've seen tons of fine performances in movies that
But
I
here's
love.
the thing: it's a clever concept. Way like
Agreed.
it's a good concept, but it just
Very well.
thinks it's way smarter than it is, and it's like it comes off way pretentious to me.
I heard that complaint
And-
before. I think Preston said that as well. I don't think. I
There's
don't know if
some weird editing choices, especially like towards like when it starts to reveal itself. It just makes it all incoherent a bit.
I agree. I get the Get
Yeah.
Out comparison. Like, I get the Jordan Peele comparisons because the editing is like, it's the type of thing where there's certain edited scenes.
There's like little stills edited
Little
in,
stills,
in the
like-
first act. Yeah,
that come out of nowhere, but then of course it'll make sense at the end.
but I don't think
But
it
the
comes
thing is,
together.
It doesn't.
like,
Yeah.
no, yeah.
Which is, I think it's a well-conceived movie, and I actually like the reveal, but it's just that.
Yeah, like the reel is cool. Like the actual
cool.
concept behind it is cool.
Yes.
It's not done well.
It doesn't come together.
No.
It's so unfortunate because I think like if there was maybe 20 more minutes, I don't care.
Or
if
even
it's
just like a better screenplay.
a better screenplay,
Yeah.
a tighter screenplay. Yeah,
tighter
It
and
doesn't
like
have to be longer.
more coherent.
More coherent. Because I'm bored with it for a long time. It's well conceived. It's great acting.
It
from
looks fucking
Florence.
incredible. Like
Oh,
cinematography is
beautiful.
Matthew Lebatite, insane.
Beautiful. There's some certain shots in here. Again, the direction
The
really good.
the style is there. Like the soundtrack is great.
Yeah,
The-
it's remarkable how Jalen, again, a husband and brother, we look at each other during a certain scene in the third act. We're like, what is happening? Because
I have no idea
so
what was
much
happening
stuff is
until,
happening in the third act.
yeah.
The last 20 minutes, I'm like, whoa.
Incoherent is like the main word for this movie.
Yeah, it's
like,
very
it tries so
incoherent.
hard that it just doesn't come together.
Yeah, and I wanted to be on board because I'm like, it's so interesting. The review is interesting. I'm like, okay, I like where you're
Yeah.
going, Olivia. Where are you going? And she has no idea
Like,
where she's
honestly,
going.
I didn't
Yeah.
see where it was going. Like, it was a good reveal, but
Yeah.
the way it, like
I'm like,
comes together
okay,
just
cool,
isn't
but
good.
how does this end? I'm invested a little bit, but then it just
and the
starts to
ending's like
unravel.
abrupt.
It,
and
oh my god,
rushed, like-
horrible ending.
Yeah.
It starts to unravel, and I love Chris Pine. Chris Pine, one of the best. Chris Pine. He's killing it in this movie.
Yeah,
but
he's great, but he's wasted.
They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with him. There's a certain
Also,
scene at the end.
Kiki Lane was done fucking dirty, man.
Oh yeah, she was done dirty. Yeah, she was done dirty. Chris Pine was done dirty. Like, I've never seen a Chris Pine character done more dirty than in this movie. Because all the scenes you see in the trailer from him, those are basically his lines in the movie. There's nothing really outside of that. And I wanted more from his character.
That dinner scene is really good, though.
It's so good.
Trailers, but
yeah. It's one of those scenes where you're like squirming in your seat, like, ooh, what is happening here?
Mm-hmm.
The tension's really great in that scene. But yeah, I love Chris Pine, but there's a certain scene at the end with him. I'm just like, what the hell just happened? So yeah, it's remarkable. It's one of those movies.
Edgar, I still recommend you watch it because it's.
I think so too. Because I think a lot of the movie is very solid. It just unravels at the end. But I think
I did it like a 3.5.
Yeah, same here.
How long is it?
2 hours, right? 2 hours and 4 minutes.
It's like 2 hours. Yeah.
Not
is it worth watching at the movies or wait for it?
Yeah, definitely.
I think I think it looks good.
There's the soundtrack. Really the sound design is great too. It's worth it.
Soundtrack is really good. Yeah. It's unfortunate because none of these things will be nominated because the movie, it just
so much controversy.
It doesn't know what to do. Doesn't know how to end. I think I can feel Olivia's pain here, where she's writing a good idea. She had a great idea for this movie.
Yeah, great concept.
She just didn't know how to close it.
It sucks because it's the same writer behind Booksmart, which is such a well-written script.
Such a well-written, a much more simpler script. But yeah, it's such a well-written script.
I think it might be too ambitious for its own.
It might have been too ambitious, which is fair. That's one of my fears, just as not even as a writer, but just as like a person who loves movies and has a lot of ideas in my head.
For sophomore features, that's like a 10 a lot.
Happens a lot, which is fair, but I'm excited to see what she does next. But I think that was it for me. September. Don't worry.
I rewatched Fear Street, the first one, because I'm trying to actually rewatch the trilogy this time. Because I've only seen the first one. It's good. Solid slasher.
I love Fear Street trilogy. I think I liked it more than you. I love the first one. I think it's really good horror. Very fun.
The ending is great. Like when
ending is killer.
She's on the phone and it's over and that happens.
Yeah.
Like, great ending.
I think it actually might get better and better when they do the stylistic changes. You've seen Fear Street, right?
What?
Have you seen the Fear Street trilogy?
I like the one where they're in the past, like in the
1666, I think.
Yeah. I think I like that one. That's
me too.
I'm just trying to watch the other two this month.
I think it might go backwards for me. I might go the 3, 2, 1 in terms of ranking. And I liked all of them. It's 2 because Sadie Sink is great in the second one.
Yeah.
I've watched I got like half an hour into it and I was like, I'm not in the right mood for this.
Okay. Yeah. There's certain like side characters in 2 that are just very cliche and annoying, like the bully. I hate bad bully characters, and 2 has some bad bully characters.
The like main ensemble in the first one is great though.
Yeah, I might go 3-1-2. I might go 3-1-2. But they all end very well. But I think I like Fear Street for what it was. Horror, teen, YA thing. I loved it.
I watched Coraline for the first time.
I saw that for the first time like last year.
Great movie.
Great movie.
The vibes are so good.
Yeah.
One of the best movies of all time.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's just so colorful too. Like the way they balance the color palette during between the real world and dream world, so good.
Yeah,
it's so imaginative. You can tell it's a Neil. I forgot his name.
Henry Selick.
Henry Selick.
Yeah. His name? Yeah, Henry Selick.
No, Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman. Yeah,
Gaiman. There you go. Gaiman.
I rewatched Muppets Haunted Mansion, which is a great special if you're a Muppets fan or Haunted Mansion fan. It does both so well.
Uh,
I only have 3 more on my list. The first one
I did finish with the ones I watched last night, and I watched Goblet of Fire.
Oh,
great
yeah.
movie. Love that movie.
Going back, what are your thoughts of? Oh yeah, so you said Prisoner of Azkaban was the one where the guy was sleeping.
That was the one I watched in theaters. Yeah.
Okay. Prisoner of Azkaban is just
masterpiece.
Best
Harry Potter movie.
The heart of that movie, second favorite for me. But I think it might be the best. But my favorite is always Half-Blood Prince.
I don't understand that.
I love it.
Maybe this
You're
rewatch changed my
wrong.
mind.
You're
but-
wrong.
Maybe. I think it's what's the director's name for these movies? The later
Which one?
movies.
David Yates.
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 I think Order of the Phoenix is fine, but I
love Order
think
of the Phoenix.
I think Hot Blood Prince is when he's really getting into like, okay, this is what I can do in the Harry Potter world.
Deathly Hallows Part 1 is my favorite Yates.
Oh wow.
I love that movie.
I might go for
Yeah.
Yates 6. Deathly Hallows Part 1. And it's a tie between 5 and Part 2. Part 2 is just all action. It can get very messy.
Part 2 is it didn't really hit that much for me.
It didn't hit for me on a rewatch recently. I was like, whoa, wait, this is what the movie was? Maybe I was just
Yeah.
touching
But Part 1,
nostalgia
I just
back.
love the like kids on the run, like the whole like more intimate vibes.
The pacing is phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Prison of Azkaban, David Thewlis, the best actor in probably
Gary
the
Oldman
entire
as
yeah.
Sirius Black. Fucking
David and Gary, probably the
incredible
best actors in the entire franchise. I think their characters are just so well done. At least in 3. I don't like where David Thewlis
and the
goes in movie.
twist, like I as someone who didn't read the books, that twist when I first watched it was like so good.
Killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. Yeah,
I
love
watched Goblet of Fire last night to continue.
one of my least favorite in terms of movies.
I love this movie. I think the whole James tournament vibe is good. It has the horny, like hormonal teenagers vibes.
Yeah, for me, I like Goblet. I think it's rewatchable as hell. It's very
Ending
fun.
is like incredible. I love the ending.
The third
It's
act
so
is
dark. Like
great. That's my son. That's my boy.
My boy.
that moment is so
boy.
haunting too. It's like the music starts. It's so cheerful. Then they realize.
Yeah.
But David, I will say,
Fire-
David Tennant was fucking wasted in that movie.
Oh yeah.
He was,
Hate your
Yeah.
father.
yeah. Brendan Gleeson, great though, and
Goblet of Fire is my second least favorite of. the
I think
Potter.
so too. Because for me, the pacing is just
it does.
as horny teens. I like the horny teens as a bit, but for me the pacing is just all over the place with Goblet of Fire. It's too fast.
I did that.
It's too fast. Even I forget the director's name.
It is
but
trying. I've heard the book is like the biggest in the series,
Yeah.
so I do understand that like it has a lot to do.
He focuses on the tournaments and the spectacle aspect rather than the characters in this movie. It's the only Harry Potter movie that does that, in my opinion, where the spectacle takes precedence over the characters. It's so fast paced. Hermione and Ron get into a deserved fight at the ball.
But it just glosses over it.
The next scene, they're best friends again. I'm like, what happened? I'm like, why is it pacing so fast?
But it does give us the first
Yeah.
Ralph Fiennes performance and like one of the best villains in cinema.
Oh yeah, where Ralph Fiennes is gliding
Ray
across
Fiennes
the
is
ground at the
Voldemort.
end.
So good.
Yeah, it's so good. Ray Fiennes kills it. Yeah.
I think Order of the Phoenix is still my least favorite.
Wow.
Just because I
love
saw
that
it
movie.
way too many times and I got tired of it.
I'm not a huge Order fan either. I don't like the color
Mhm.
palette. I don't like the
Same as Half Blood Prince.
no.
No,
No.
Yeah.
no,
It's not
no.
the same. It's
No.
not the Order of the Phoenix
Whatever.
is blue because I think David Yates explained it where it's like he wanted it to be dreary. It's the movie where Harry has to face that nobody believes him. He's alone. Dumbledore isn't talking to him anymore. Why not?
I love that aspect. Like
I like it a lot
works so well.
too, but I don't know. I think it's also my least favorite
Also,
Daniel performance. Yeah.
Umbridge, what's her name? Like she's a great villain.
Oh, she's amazing. Yeah, she's great. I like the transitions with the newspapers in this one. They're very clever with the in order.
Yeah.
What else? I like the whole room of requirement training bit.
I love it. Yeah, I love like him training like the new order. It's so good.
Yeah, Shy Harry's great.
That moment when
but-
Sirius dies is like fucking
Yeah,
sad.
it's one of the most important bits. I don't think it's directed that well, but it has one of my favorite lines in the entire series, where Sirius says, "Good job, James," and it's a very short
Exactly,
line,
Nathan.
but it's peak.
murky.
And
Wow,
that's a good
Nathan.
thing. It's going for that tone.
It's not.
That,
I don't know. I don't love it.
It's not. I'll explain in a second. But when Sirius says, "Great job, James," in the middle of their fight when they're working together, it's probably my favorite line in the entire series because Sirius he sees James Potter and Harry. they're in sync. And right after that, his life is cut short tragically. And then you get Belichick's "I killed Sirius Black. I killed Sirius
So
Black."
good. So good. It's great.
Fantastic. Then you get the spectacle, the fight with Dumbledore and Voldemort. It's incredible. The third act is amazing. We actually see the court area for the first time in Order of the Phoenix, and it's good. And of course, Judge Fudge, or whatever his name is, Mr. Fudge, whatever. But yeah, I think Order is fine, but I do. It might be one of my least favorite.
I don't know. We'll see how Half-Blood Prince.
What's my ranking?
How I feel about it.
Half-Blood Prince. First of all, it's not murky. I think it's stylistically goes through a variety of different color palettes. It's not always brown. When Malfoy, Malfoy has one of the best arcs in the entire series in this movie. When he's in the bathroom fighting Harry, it's black and white. It's very gray because he's kind of in between of like his ideals and what he should do. At the very end, it's very colorful. I think it goes through a variety of different color changes. I think if you rewatch it, you'll have a different appreciation.
Yeah, I probably will.
My only complaint with Half-Blood is I like Ginny and Harry in the books, but they're not handled the best in Half-Blood. I like
not handled
scenes,
the best at all.
But
right, it should have been Harry and Hermione. I stand by that.
No, wow, no, not at all, boy. No.
Stand by that.
No. I'm a huge Ginny fan in the books. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cute in Half-Blood Prince, but I think it could have been done a bit better. But yeah, I love Harry Potter. We should definitely do a Harry Potter podcast eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it.
A disclaimer that shouldn't even go without saying: J.K. Rowling, evil person.
Oh yeah. There's no disclaimer needed. That's like saying, yeah, we all know.
But yeah, I have 2 more movies that I watched last night.
What'd you watch?
Blonde. Let me talk about this.
Oh man.
Yeah. Let me start with the good because there's not that much good.
Oh no.
Ana de Armas is phenomenal. She tries so hard to save this movie, but doesn't succeed. And like it's really well shot. Like technically this movie is really good, but that's it. It is disgusting. It is disrespectful. It is so exploitative. It is like
exploitative in what sense?
It's just like lying about Marilyn Monroe's past to make a better like I don't know how to explain it, but like it's just like taking what didn't even happen in some instances and like centering on just the horrors of her life and even lying about it. Like it's just not good.
I don't even know much about her life, so
yeah. It's a fictional book, but
yeah, it's just like it's taking
her, like,
this
image,
this dead woman who like the image, and like making it's like it's just so disrespectful. I feel.
I don't even know much about her life, so I wouldn't know what's the truth and the lies.
And like there's some weird pro-life bullshit in there. Like
whoa,
yeesh. Yeah, it's not good.
Not great, Bob. And hers is very long. How long is this?
It is 3 hours.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah,
I hate long movies. I can't stand it.
Through.
Like the only long movies I like are like sci-fi, like long sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna love Avatar.
I hate bad sci-fi movies. I should clarify there.
And to pivot from bad to good, I just finished watching this before we went live. The Munsters, Rob Zombie's The Munsters. I had such a blast with this movie.
This comedy?
It's like a horror comedy. It's like a reboot prequel of like the old like series or Universal series.
Oh, okay, yes.
It is vibrant. It is campy as fuck. It is goofy. It has some bad acting, but like it's so campy that it's just it's great. It's a fun time.
Is it like on the same like vibes as Addams Family or something like that?
Yeah. It's like I haven't seen the original, but it's just like classic goofy horror.
Oh,
like family friendly horror.
Go to Noah's comment because I've heard good things about Athena on Netflix.
Yeah, let me finish. It's like let me finish Monsters real quick. Like the filmmaking is insane. Like the color palette, Cinematography is really good. The set design is some of the best I've seen this year.
Really? In
Yeah,
Monsters?
it is insane. Yeah,
Wow, that's surprising.
it's a great movie. It's not for everyone, but I loved it.
I have to check it out. You said horror comedy? Yeah.
It's like family friendly, like goofy horror.
Okay. Yeah.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
I've heard this movie too, Athena. I want to try and watch it.
Is it a documentary?
No, I think it's like a foreign
no.
film.
Is it a story film?
It was
What
at
is it?
festivals, I think. I don't know, but people said it's like really well made. No,
Athena.
elaborate.
Speak. Let the man speak. Let the girl speak.
But yeah, Monsters, if you're into like weird, goofy, family-friendly horror, then watch it. It's good.
Okay, Athena. Okay, yeah. The plot actually looks like not a documentary. This is an actual story. One of the most thrilling movies of the entire year. Wow. Some good reviews. It's a story film, French.
Okay.
I like France. Never been there. I like Athena, goddess of wisdom.
About masterpiece about police violence and social unrest. Okay, I'll watch it.
I'll watch it too. I'll put it on my watch list.
Any other movies you want to throw out before we move on?
No. We've been doing some Alien versus Predator rewatches during our binge commentaries, and we saw Prometheus like a couple days ago. Prometheus is solid. I forgot how beautiful Prometheus is. It's a very gorgeous movie. Prometheus is very gorgeous. It's just that whenever I watched it, I end up with the same thing. We talked about it during the commentary where I end it and I'm like, what's happening? It's very confusing. I get very confused by the ending of Prometheus in terms of the goals of the engineers, how well it's conveyed in the movie, what's happening with the story, where is it going, that kind of thing. I think visually, technically, it's a very good movie. Also, we watched Predators with Adrian Brody from 2010, and I remember liking it, but during the commentary, I did not have a good time with it. I think it's boring, not well paced. Adrian Brody does this weird Batman-ish accent. It's just not good.
Batman-ish?
Yeah, it's like he talks like this for no reason. I'm like, what is happening? It's goofy without trying to be goofy. Ridley has a plan. Yeah, he did. But when he was making Prometheus, did he know the plan? That's what I have to ask him. It's like
I still need to see Alien, so I'm not in this conversation.
Oh yeah, of course.
Have you not seen Prometheus, Josh?
He hasn't even
seen Alien.
Well, I figured you could at least watch. I mean, you can watch Prometheus without seeing Alien.
I'm gonna watch Alien. Next episode, I'll be talking about Alien. How about that?
Thank God, please.
And Aliens, please.
We'll see.
James Cameron, baby.
They go hand in hand. This guy chose to watch 3 hours of Blonde
instead of Rings of Power. Yeah, that was a mistake.
Rings of Power. Yeah, he just had to get that letterbox updated. Okay, but yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
Edgar, any other movies?
Yeah. Let me see. Evan, you already talked about this one last episode, but I'll talk about it now because I watched it. But Beast with Idris Elba.
Oh,
goofy ass movie.
Why are you getting out of the car? What are you doing?
No. Okay, here's my real complaint. Why is
not interested at all in this movie?
Why is this fucking lion so obsessed with this family? Why did the kids do to it? Nothing.
Plot.
The lion just shows up and like starts attacking them for no reason.
I mean,
at some point they run away like miles on a truck, and somehow the lion finds them in a
it's crazy. I'm like, again? How? Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, these characters, like, we made fun of like certain horror movies where they're like, why are you going into the black hallway? That kind of thing. But Beast is just like, why do you keep getting out of the car? Why do you care about this random guy? I gotta save him. I gotta go find him. Like, no, you don't. You have a fucking family. What are you doing? It's full of just dumb things that you have to go along with so the movie can keep on going. It's just so weird.
And the
Yeah.
final battle between Idris Elba and the lion, I was expecting something like cool, and I
Yeah.
just got something so embarrassing. Like, why didn't the other lions eat him?
No, those were the nice lions, Edgar. They're not the mean lion because the other one was mean because of the thing. It was trying to say like it's
What is this,
mean
Lion
because
King?
of like, yeah, basically, it was trying to be. It was mad because of things like its circumstances. Like it wasn't like always like this kind of thing, but it was a thing about anti-poachers, which I get,
Yeah.
but I'm just like it wasn't conveyed very well.
This
And
this
yeah,
movie is the revenge of lion movies.
because it could have been so good too, because like automatically you go in thinking of the Gray watching this, which I think the Gray is
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
much more well written and has a
Who
much
did the Gray? Who was that?
oh, what's his name? He's a great director who hasn't done much recently.
I remember
What's
watching
his
parts
name?
of that a while ago.
Joe Carnahan.
Joe Carnahan, I think one of the most
Carnahan. He did-
underrated action.
Didn't he
directors.
do that like weird Shia LaBeouf movie recently?
Oh, Boss?
No.
No, not Boss Level. He did
The Tat Splitter. Then
no, that was
No.
wasn't that
That was
David?
somebody else.
Wasn't that Suicide
oh,
Squad
Top
guy?
Shop.
Cop Shop.
I heard Couch was pretty good. But Joe Carnahan did The Gray. He did Boss Level. He did the A Team. Yeah, I think Joe Carnahan's pretty underrated. The Beast didn't know what it was trying to be. It tried to be like emotional and serious too, Edgar, with like the mother plot. It's like, no, it's not
No.
going anywhere. No, nice try though. But yeah, what else you got, Edgar?
Also, like, why didn't they just fucking walk if the lion was asleep when they shot him with the fucking like tranquilizer or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, it didn't work, right? So it's like.
Have any of you seen Fall or The Fall or
I
whatever
did.
that movie?
That was my
I
next
haven't.
movie. That was
Was
my
it?
next movie.
It's the next one. How was it? Did they fall?
Somebody does.
Ooh.
Is it all on top of this fucking needle thing with this
Yeah.
tower?
Honestly,
the whole movie?
I thought this movie was gonna be like going back and forth between the tower and flashbacks, but it's just all the movie in the tower.
How
And
long is it?
Let me see real quick.
I think it's like 90 minutes.
107 minutes.
It's like hour 40.
Something like that. I don't know. You do the math. But anyway, Grace Caroline Curry, like, she's solid with what she has with the script that she's handled, but the movie is just very like uneventful and it's very boring.
Surface
Oh
level.
no! Damn.
Yeah, and the characters just keep making stupid decisions. Like even the decision of going to the tower is fucking ridiculous because so the part of the movie, the movie begins with like
Something happened
So
to
it's
her
the-
parents, right?
we'll get to it. So basically the movie starts with these like two best friends and the fiance of one of them, and they're like climbing up at this mountain, and the fiance like falls and dies or whatever.
Tragic.
So the idea of going to climb the tower is to like take his ashes as like a like final goodbye and to like get over the grief.
Okay.
And it's just like so it's so campy, but not even in a good way, because like I don't think you guys care about spoilers, but like eventually we
Go
learned
ahead.
that the best friend was sleeping with the fiance.
Wow,
Did not see that coming.
that's messed up.
And so they're like fixing their issues like up
While
there
they're
in
on the tower?
Yeah.
I have to see this fucking movie. Edgar is selling me on this movie. It sounds so goofy. Wow.
It's honestly like it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's bad in a good way, if that makes sense. But
It's a bad good or a good bad.
it's bad good, and then something happens where there's like this like twist towards the end of the movie, towards the climax of the movie,
This
that
has
you're
good
like,
reviews. What the hell?
Does
yeah,
it?
it has good reviews.
78 on Tomatoes,
Yeah, I don't know why,
Letterboxd?
but
62 Metacritic. Not half bad.
has 2.7.
2.7 on Letterboxd. Yeah,
Ooh,
that makes
never
sense.
mind. There we go.
But anyway, like there's this twist towards the end of the movie that is just so goofy. Like it tries to play it off as smart, but it's not.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna. If you want to watch the movie, I'm not gonna say it. But
I think I watched it now. You sold
I
me
think it's
on
on
the fiance
I think it
stuff.
might be on Peacock or Paramount
it?
Plus. Maybe, I'm not sure. You guys look it up.
Is it
But what
Focus?
else?
I didn't see it on anywhere.
I'm not sure.
It might be the 1999 streaming.
Oh, it's Lionsgate, so
Oh, then there you go.
probably not.
Yeah.
Yes, no way.
And also for some reason, Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in this movie for like 2
wow.
minutes.
I think he
Wow.
falls too probably. Never mind. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
But yeah,
that was funny as
that's fall. What else? Oh, my last movie of the month can be a monthly episode without a Netflix movie. So
hell.
Oh yeah, Do Revenge. I saw
yeah,
this
Do
too.
Revenge.
I forgot about this. Yeah.
I want to watch this. How is it?
It's
It's-
solid.
Oh,
I think
it's
It's
not
solid,
good.
yeah.
Oh, it's
It's
good.
good.
Okay, good,
Yeah,
good.
it's actually
I want to
good.
watch this. No spoilers. No spoilers.
all right,
It's
all right.
fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I was like a solid teen drama from Netflix. What is this? But
Yeah, it's actually like kind of good.
yeah, Camila
Maya
Mendes,
Hawke is
pretty
great.
good. Maya
Anthony
Hawke, yeah.
Mendes.
Austin Brums from Euphoria is in this.
yeah.
He's pretty funny.
He's
Who
the
is in
Ethan in Euphoria.
Oh, Ethan. Okay.
Ethan.
Ethan.
Oh, he's great. He's in everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically, everybody who has ever been on like a teen drama on Netflix is in this movie.
Yeah. It's fun. It's like there's some good twist in it.
I've seen so many
Yeah.
like fan edits of this movie, and people are like, "You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." I'm like, "Okay, I might watch it tonight. We'll see."
Yeah, it has like a Mean Girls type of vibe. So if you're into that, then I think you're gonna enjoy
Yeah.
One of the best films of all time, Mean Girls. I love Mean Girls.
Haven't seen it. Need to see
Oh
it.
my gosh,
it. Josh.
it's like pop culture Oh my gosh! Wow,
No.
I grew up watching Mean Girls.
I've seen like
every
parts
day.
of it, obviously, but I haven't seen the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Man, iconic.
But yeah,
But
that's it for
if we're
me.
moving on to TV, I do have to go soon. So let me just get my thoughts out on Andor real quick
Ander.
before
yeah.
I go. An Andor.
Andor.
Phenomenal. 20 Gilroy fucking crushing it.
It's sick how good this show is.
It's like
great.
not to like be that person, but it's so refreshing seeing this come out of Lucasfilm when the past few series we've gotten are so like different. And yeah, Dio Luna's great. Nicholas Patel, my boy, fucking god.
The drums.
The into episode 2, like euphoric experience
Yeah,
with the drums.
I think casting Andor is easily already 4 episodes in the best Star Wars.
Yeah,
Probably the best Star Wars we've seen in years.
it's just on another level.
I loved episode 4 when I'm kidding. I'm not gonna say anything about episode 4, Nathan. But well, I'm loving this show. I think it's the writing, the dialogue is so fucking good. The dialogue is so great. I'm loving Stellan Skarsgård as Luthen. He does something in episode 4, which is probably one of my favorite scenes in all of Star Wars. There's a small moment, which might be one of my favorite scenes ever.
Oh man,
Mon Mothma's killing it. Just episode 1, 2, and 3.
not
I'm
to
so
interrupt,
happy.
but like I do
Yeah.
have to go. So let me just say
Okay,
that.
go ahead,
And
go ahead.
Hot D, as we call it, just as good as it's just on a roll. So
45th.
Patty
Yeah.
Considine, best performance.
Patty,
TV.
he's so good.
Patty. Okay, bye. Have
Peace out,
fun
Josh.
discussing these.
Yeah. For me, I've loved Andor. I'm so happy they dropped 1 through 3 all in one day, because just to watch like the whole first arc for Andor as he's trying to struggle with being really out of control and being just not going with the flow, but he's having this mission and he has to he makes one mistake, and that mistake haunts him for the rest of the other 2 episodes, where he's just like on the run, where he's like having these quick talks with his friends. I love the dialogue. I like his relationship with his friends. I like the world building. It's excellent. I love these small moments with the characters, which are what I ask for in all my shows, but especially these Star Wars shows, which have been dodging out on giving me verified, just varying different perspectives from characters, especially in Mandalorian and other shows. I want scenes with the villain by himself, like Cyril. Cyril has some great stuff. Even episode 4, there's some great stuff between Cyril just by himself, Mon Mothma by herself. There's great shots of just Bix in episode 2 and 3, where she's just like doing her shit with her boyfriend. I forget his name now. But just seeing these characters live and be themselves in this town, which is a very hardworking town. It all felt so lived in. The dialogue again is just great. I love the world building that they're creating here with this show. Technically speaking, it looks amazing. Everything about Andor, I can't give any real complaints. The only complaint is that the episodes end abruptly a little bit. It happened with episode 4. It happened with episode 2 and 1 as well. I think the only time it's not going to end abruptly is when the arc finishes, like at the end of every third episode or whatever. But otherwise, it's a small complaint. Otherwise, this is a fantastic show. I love Andor.
Yeah, I think this show is doing something very interesting that I don't know why it just crossed my mind, but like the relationship, especially like in the first 3 episodes, the relationship between like the Imperials and the town people is very like reminiscent to Lothal from Rebels.
Yeah,
and that sense of like that constant daily struggle of like not being able to like stand up against these people. And I kind of talked about this on Twitter, on like a small thread that I made after I watched the first 3 episodes. But like just seeing like the relationship between like somebody like Diego in that opening with the what are they called? Inspectors or
the corporate? It's the corporate.
Yeah, those guys. Anyway, just like that relationship of like, hey, like show us identification or things like that. Like I immediately took me back to like hearing like stories growing up as a Latino, like of like family members or friends like being stopped by like cops or immigration officers, stuff like that, like asking for IDs for no real reason.
For no reason.
Yeah, and like I think one of the biggest things about the show is how much it doesn't apologize for the story that it's telling, because it's very clear that it's not shying away from tackling those themes. And I feel like sometimes Star Wars does kind of, even though Star Wars is those themes, it kind of sometimes it doesn't feel like it embraces them. Something like Boba Fett or The Mandalorian, things like that. And I think this show is doing a pretty fantastic job with handling those themes and challenging the characters. Like, okay, what are you gonna do about it? So.
Yes, that's what I love about Andor, right? Because I think, like you just said, in contrast to the other shows, where the other shows are more so a point A to point B kind of show, where a character has to go point A to point B because it has to do this thing in a certain amount of time to get this within the episode. While Andor, the pacing is like, we're going to tell the story within 3 episodes because we have an arc. We have a thing we want to tell, but we're going to give time for the characters to be challenged, time for the characters to be by themselves or to just think and rest by themselves, or even for Mon Mothma's case, not be able to rest even when they're at home because something's happening at home, where it's just like they're constantly getting challenged, constantly getting subverted. It's just very good. I'm so happy these characters are being actualized. Like I love a lot of these characters already. Bix, Luthen, Cassian, Cyril, even the new ISB officer. I'm already captivated by so many characters. And the sociopolitics of the show. It's just phenomenal. I love Andor. Can't wait to talk about it at our next month. We're talking about the show actually for a couple months because 12 episodes. So yeah.
Oh yeah, 12 episodes. Sometimes I keep forgetting. Like I keep switching the days between She-Hulk and Andor. I keep thinking they release the opposite, the opposite dates.
Yeah.
But anyway, if there's anything,
we can talk about Hot D before we.
Yeah, we're gonna say like, is there anything you want to discuss about House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
Like, what specific thing do you want to discuss that we haven't discussed from last week, from the last time?
I don't know. Okay, spoilers for House of the Dragon. Spoilers for House of the Dragon. It came out last Sunday. I'm loving the show. This show is peak television, Edgar. Oh my god. Part of me wishes I read the book. Part of me wishes was glad that I didn't read Fire and Blood. Because for me, this is one of the best first seasons I've watched in quite some time. I think it's paced very well, even though people might argue against the pacing because of all the time skips. I'm liking what we got with the first 5 episodes. I'm so happy because earlier they were just going to start with episode 6 with Order Rhaenyra, Order Alicent. But I'm so glad they started off with giving us that relationship building in episodes 1 through 5 and like the fall of that relationship, because it makes episode 6 so much more enjoyable. I don't know if I have any questions. I'm just I'm just so hyped for the next episode. But yeah, so explain to me. I think the only real question I had, a couple small issues with episode 6, where there were some scenes that were just left out, not left out in terms of deleted scenes, but just within the context of the episode. Daemon, like, he gets asked the same questions as Viserys in terms of, hey, your wife is dying. And we see Daemon struggle with that question. But then in the next scene, we see Laena just like walking away. She goes to her dragon, Vhagar. And I'm like, explain to me how she got so far away. Did Daemon want her to go so far away? But then he comes out and he was like kind of surprised. I'm like, the timing of it all didn't really mesh well with me during my initial viewing. It kind of took me out of the scene for a little bit. That's my only small complaint.
I think
what did you think?
Well, for that scene, I think it's a very interesting dynamic or parallel to the first episode with Viserys, because it's when we go back to the first episode of the show, and Viserys is like challenged with that question of like, do you want to attempt to basically do a C-section? First question is not, is Emma gonna live? His question is the baby gonna make it? And when Daemon is now with the question is the opposite, is Laena gonna survive the C-section, basically? And I think that says a lot about both characters. Say whatever you want about Daemon being an asshole throughout the show or everything, but like I think this is a very flawed character that doesn't know how to handle relationships with the people that he loves, and him not being able to make the decision of like saving his wife or saving the child. I think that speaks a lot of volumes, because somebody like Viserys is not thinking about like about his wife in that moment. He's thinking about prophecy, and Daemon is thinking about his legacy, and Daemon is thinking about what's going to happen right now. And to your point of like, why did Laena get away so fast? I don't think that the scene was staged that well. I think what I assumed was that there was another exit in the room, and once he like looked at the empty bed, like it was already too late for him to like go after her or whatever.
Oh shit.
I don't know. It was kind of weird how they staged that thing, but I actually really
go on.
I think the actual way that they ended Lena's character arc with her like burning herself with Vhagar, I thought that was a pretty good change from the books, because in the books,
what happened in the books?
So in the books, she does give birth, but the baby dies like almost like in the instance, and she's like so desperate to like not want to die in childbirth, not wanting to die on the bed, that she like runs away out of the room because she wants to ride on Vhagar one last time, and then she collapses on the beach or whatever, and then Daemon like takes her body inside again, and they changed it to like her like having like that like
agency,
last hooray of sense. I thought it was a good change. My problem with episode 6, which I guess you could argue is a good issue to have, it's like you don't really get a lot of moments to feel the relationships, especially
I agree.
Rhaenyra and Harwin and Daemon and Laena. You do get those moments you do get those moments in the wedding episode, but here, like once they're like older with children, like it works because the actors are doing such a great job at portraying what's in the case. But you just want to see more of that interaction.
I wanted more. That's a perfect complaint to have, because I think even my dad was like, who's Harwin again? And I had to text him. I was like, he was in episode 3 like or episode 4 with the dance, 3 and 4, right? And 5,
3, 4 and 5,
3, 4 and 5. I'm like, he's there. Did he say much? No. But like if you're a fan like me and you are, we know like, oh, that's Harwin, or oh, I know that's an important character. But if you're a casual viewer, we're going to totally miss out on that kind of stuff. And I think we could have had an extra episode where it's just Harwin and Rhaenyra's relationship, where it's just Lena and Daemon's relationship. I think they want to really rush to the whole Rhaenyra and Daemon of it all, which for me, I didn't know a prequel would have me invested in another ship. I'm like, God damn, I can't escape these ships in Game of Thrones. I felt head over heels over Jon and Dany. I was so invested. 2 seasons worth of investment down the drain. And then now I'm super invested in Rhaenyra and Daemon. I'm like, please, nothing bad happened to them. Like, oh my God. I know something bad. I mean, I know they're going to die, but I don't know, like, is it old age or how they're going to die? Are they going to die in the war? I have no idea what's going to happen. But for me, I'm just hella invested in Rhaenyra and Daemon. I love them together. Every scene with them together is pure magic. Like, I think Matt Smith and Millie had excellent chemistry, and I can't wait to see Matt Smith and Emma go. I've already saw some preview images, like on a beach or something, and I'm like, oh, is this Dragonstone or something? But I love their relationship. It's very fucked. It's an uncle and his niece or nephew, whatever. Niece. But I love it. I don't give a fuck. I'm so on board with it. They just have a great dynamic, especially outside of the incest of it all. Just their characters by themselves. Rhaenyra is such a very interesting character. Daemon is an interesting character, and the way it's not a battle of wits because they both share some commonalities. But I just love their relationship together in general. Yeah. I think very interesting.
I think what's so interesting about their relationship is that Rhaenyra can call bullshit on Daemon's behaviors, let's say, because like they're basically almost like not exactly the same, but even Viserys says, I don't remember which episode, they share like the blood of the dragon, like they're the dragons. If there's any characters that are pure Targaryen in this show, it's those two. I can't wait for the relation to eventually
I can't develop. This is we're 6 episodes in. This might become my new favorite ship in Game of Thrones. Of course, again, I fell head over heels over Jon and Dany in season 7. Of course, it even had that theme Jon and Dany did, which I loved. Are they going to give Rhaenyra and Daemon a theme?
Hopefully. Hopefully. He's been working on the
soundtrack. He's cooking. What is he cooking, Edgar?
But anyway, going back to your question about like how are these characters gonna end up by the end of the show? Fun fact: if you want to know, just rewatch. I don't remember which episode.
Oh yeah, somebody told me this. Like it's like season 4 or 3, something like that.
Well, there's 2. The one with Shireen and Stannis in season 5. They basically gives you like the history lesson of the Dance of the Dragons.
Okay,
that's the first one. But there's one that it comes before. I believe is season 3. It's the episode where Joffrey is taking Marjorie on a trip around the Sept of Baelor.
Oh,
and they're looking at the old Targaryen like skulls or whatever, and he basically tells her how war ended. So basically, if you want to, you basically already know. You just don't.
I already know. I just totally forgot.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Part of me, because whenever I'm on YouTube, like how YouTube has like those short clips.
Yeah.
It says like this is how Rhaenyra or how the show ends or something. I'm like, I'm good. I'm not gonna click on that. I'm probably gonna be spoiled by the time I get to the end. I'm probably gonna read the book by the time season 2 comes out, so I'll know. But yeah, I'm just goddamn I think that might be my only complaint too with episode 6, where it's like I wanted more with Harwin and Emma, Harwin and Rhaenyra. I wanted more with Lena, especially, and Daemon. I think they have a very interesting relationship. I love that balcony scene where he's missing home, but he also loves Lena and he loves his children, but he still misses Viserys and the feeling.
He misses home, but he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah, which is I love Daemon. He's so relatable. Like I wouldn't admit that shit either. He's such a fragile man. But I love the hell out of Daemon. Matt Smith, man, incredible work.
I really hope in the next coming episodes they show more of his relationship with the children, because I know that they cut the scene where he's like comforting Bella and Reina, and like I don't know, it's kind of getting kind of tiring because like it almost feels like they just want to show him as this like not necessarily evil guy, but like as this prick, and they're not really showing like the vulnerable side of him. So I hope they do something with the character because he's obviously gonna have to develop a relationship, a fatherly relationship with Rhaenyra's kids. So I really hope they go for that too.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think which I also I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I think they have done a decent job of showing that he's not a total asshole. I think even episode 6 where he's like wearing that Buffy coat where he's like, I just want to read my books, and he kisses his daughter, one of his daughters goodbye. There's some scenes in other episodes where he's just like, I could see him not being a total asshole. But yeah, I think a couple of things can be added in there to make him feel more human and more caring. But yeah, now that it was funny because I think Ryan talked about it at the end of last week's episode in the about the episode segment where he said, so Rhaenyra lost Harwin, Daemon lost Lena, and now they're back together. I'm like, oh, what? How convenient, Game of Thrones. George, you sly fox. They both lost people that they were like with during this 10-year gap, but now they get to see each other after 10 years. I'm like, what is that first meeting going to be like? And how is Daemon going to interact with like Jacaerys and
Laenor?
What's the other son? Is the other son named Laenor?
Which son? The
second son, just Jacaerys and
Viserys' son? Aegon?
No. Rhaenyra's children.
Oh, Jace and Luke.
Luke. Okay, is his name just Luke?
It's Lucerys, but Luke for short.
Luke for short. Okay, Jace, Luke, and Joffrey.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't wait to see it. But also, shout out to Olivia Cook and Emily as well for Allison. I think Allison I don't even want to say underrated because I don't think she is, but people will just write her off as, oh, she's a crazy mom. She's crazy. Look what she did with Aegon. I think it's on that edge. I think even Olivia said, like, yeah, this woman's not right. But I love the way that they're still humanizing Allison. Yeah. Everything we see from Allison makes complete sense after watching 1 through 5, where she's a spitting image of Otto now. Where
she's a product of her father.
She's a product of her father, which is in itself tragic. She wasn't like this. She was best friend with Rhaenyra for a very long time. She believed in Rhaenyra. It's not until Rhaenyra lied to her, got her father sent away, and is breaking the rules at every corner, but still princess. Everybody loves Rhaenyra. Like, I would be pissed too. So, like, Rhaenyra isn't like the cleanest person, but we love Rhaenyra because she's breaking the rules, and the rules are awful anyways. Yeah. But Alicent is not breaking the rules. She's following the rules. She's not exactly doing anything wrong. She didn't want to have kids at 14. But she has so many shackles placed against her, and she was so alone. I think she still is so alone. She just has like Kristen, who's an asshole, Larys Strong, who's an asshole and villain now. So she's not in the best of company, and she didn't like what Larys did to Harwin and Lionel, which I think Lionel, great dude, great father. I mean, come on.
Even in the wedding, you can tell that Harwin and Larys had a good brotherly relationship, which makes it even more fucked up.
Yeah. It was just crazy. I mean, we really did that. But in general, I got to go soon. But yeah, this show is amazing. It's my number one show, probably of the year. Once the episodes 7, 8, 9, 10 come through. But I'm just loving every single frame, every single second of this show. It's great.
Yeah, I can't wait for episode 8 because that's when the time jumps are gonna finally stop, and we're just gonna be able to like live and breathe with these characters. Yeah. Even though I was gonna say, even though I think they've done, even complaints aside, I think they've done a really good job to expand the book and add to the book, because like the beginning, the prologue of this era, this show, it's like a couple paragraphs maybe, and that's it. And really, the meat of the story really is the war.
When you and Auden told me that, just a couple paragraphs, but what we've got from these 6 episodes alone, I'm like, this was a couple paragraphs? I'm so happy it's even this good. Like, yeah, I know people have had complaints with the time skips, but even like with that aside, I think what they've added is just so good in terms of character dynamics and making everything seem so rich and wonderful. Like it's crazy what they accomplished here. It was a big task. And if season 1 is this good, season 2, 3, and 4 without the big time skips, when everything's like getting like physical and there's a lot of action and violence, I think it's going to be much more rewarding this season is. In hindsight. But yeah, great show. September, great month. October is going to be even more packed. So can't wait.
Halloween ends later.
Halloween Ends is happening. I'm going to try and see that one South Korean movie called Decision to Leave. I think that's coming out this year. It's one of my most anticipated. It's Park Chan-wook's mystery romance thriller. I think it's coming out October 14th. Triangle of Sadness, another foreign film, is coming out this month. Black Adam's coming out October.
Is it? I've totally forgot about it. Like
the hierarchy, Edgar. But yeah, that's about it.
Yep. Well, if that's it, where can people find you, Evan?
Find me on Twitter at HarrisEV9, talking all things anime. The fall anime season is beginning just tomorrow. It kind of started today, but for me, I'll be watching my stuff tomorrow. Survivor and Amazing Race every Wednesday, but also Hyperspace Hype every Thursday. Well, today, Friday, we'll be doing one in a few hours, talking about Andor episode 4, spoiler review, and other hyperspace or other Star Wars news in general. We're doing commentaries of the Alien and Predator films, and we'll be doing more commentaries by the end of the year. And we do My Cup of Tea, movie news in general, all on Nathan Roas's channel. Or again, you can just follow me at HarrisEV9 for all the notifications about what I'm talking about, where I'm going, which podcast I'm getting pulled into, all the podcasts. It's great.
Yeah. And I don't think Josh was able to plug his stuff, but you can find him on Twitter at Josh D. Woodbury. So there you can find him. And you can find some of my work at Loud and Clear Reviews. I think this week or it's about to, I don't remember. A review that I wrote for this documentary, Butterfly in the Sky, is going up, so you can check that one out. Every Sunday, I'm covering House of the Dragon, so Monday morning they can be published too, my breakdowns. And yeah, you can find me at EDGORTEG, Twitter, Instagram, all the good stuff. And as we enter the month of October, hopefully we're getting into some horror commentary. So I'm looking forward to that. Malignant, Trick or Treat. I don't know what else is in store, but those are just first ideas. And probably some special episodes too. I know Josh wants to do one for Flanagan or something like that. So yeah.
Great, yeah.
Just go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Let me see. I always forget the fucking username of this shit. WHFGEP podcast. There you can find us again, Instagram and Twitter. And yeah. See you on the next one, guys.
Peace out.